So, today in this very special episode, I'm bringing another friend, a Kirby fan. Today, we're not going to be talking about any games history, or whatever. We're just going to be talking about Kirby and why I should play it. This guy absolutely loves Kirby, isn't that right, Bluemoon?
Yeah.
So, I do not know anything about Kirby except that it's blob, pinky thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's start. Why should I play Kirby? The Kirby games?
Short answer. It's fun.
Like,
Uh,
how also?
So, how it's fun? I'd say with all the abilities that are available, because you can like experiment on what all of those things do, and just it's fun to beat things up, right?
Yeah, true. What game do you think it's similar to?
So what game it's similar to?
Yeah, in terms of design and plot.
Design. I wouldn't say it's similar to anything really. Like it's pretty unique. I haven't seen like any game that has something similar to it. I'd say like the most similar thing to it would be Super Smash Bros. But that's kind of cheating considering it's like designed by the same guy with the same
Yeah,
design philosophies.
it's unique.
Yeah, it's unique.
Is it? What kind of games is it better to, in your opinion, to some popular games compared to some popular games? Is Kirby games more popular than it?
What more popular than?
More popular, more fun, your choice.
Kirby's not a very popular franchise. Like, sure, it's one of like Nintendo's more popular things, but not really. But like compared to some things like Mario, like how I compare to fun, I'd say like obviously different series give like different ways of giving fun.
True.
But like Mario, the fun in there is the challenge of trying to get from the beginning to the end without falling in a pit or dying to a Goomba like an idiot. Well, for Kirby, the fun is just like going through the level, you know? Like there's not really a challenge there. It's just get to the end, do the puzzles, just play the game, you know what I mean?
Makes sense. Do you think it's better than Bot W? Like, we know that Bot W is one of the most popular and well-known games of Nintendo. Everyone says,
and it also got a 97 on Metacritic.
Yeah, I know. Like, everyone says that it's absolutely fun, beautiful. The game itself is
honestly
amazing.
I'd say I'd give this point to Breath of the Wild just because Breath of the Wild is more ambitious than Kirby.
True. Is there any upcoming Kirby games that I should be looking at?
Well, the only upcoming Kirby game right now is Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which is a remaster of a Wii game, Return to Dreamland. But it adds like new like mini games and stuff.
So, is all of the new games of Kirby just rebooted version?
Well, no, the Switch games, of the 5, 6, like of the 5 Kirby games on Switch right now, like one of them is Kirby Star Allies. That was the first one. It's like it's okay. It's pretty good, but Kirby fans weren't too big a fan of it because it just didn't do anything interesting with the series. And then 3 of them are spin-offs. And then the most recent main game is Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which the Kirby fans love. It's a 3D game, which is the first for the series. It's like, and like it attracted a lot of people to Kirby too. It sold really well.
How much Kirby games are there already?
Let me count actually. There's quite a lot. There's been like one for almost every system. Let me see. There's NES. Wait, is this including spin-offs? Because there's a lot of spin-offs.
Oh, maybe just the original games?
Okay, just the main line. Okay,
Yeah,
so
the main line.
there's Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby's Adventure, Kirby's Dream Land 2, Dream Land 3, 64, Amazing Mirror, Nightmare. No, wait, not Nightmare Dreamland. That's a remake. Uh, Squeak Squad, Return to Dreamland Triple Deluxe, Planet Robobot, Star Allies, and Forgotten Land. There's 12 games.
Really interesting. Really interesting. For you,
Mm-hmm.
which one is the best character of Kirby in the whole Kirby universe? Other than Kirby. Other than Kirby.
Other than Kirby. I'd say King Dedede.
Makes sense.
So, King Dedede, he started out in Kirby's Dream Land as the villain, right? That makes sense. It's like Bowser. But then in Kirby's Adventure, he had a sudden turn. He suddenly became good and helped Kirby even to defeat the villain of that game. And that character development actually helped the current director of the Kirby series to find out that he had a passion for video games. So that's pretty cool.
Wait, but so at first he's just like a villain, and he's just like, oh, I'm
gonna steal all the food. Yeah, and it was just Kirby. Like Kirby was just this guy and was fighting like deity. But then in Kirby's Adventure, like turns out like it seems that he's a villain again. But then at the end of the game, you find out that he was actually good the whole time, and he was helping Kirby. Okay. So let me actually explain the plot of the game because it's way simpler than you're gonna think. So there's this thing called the Fountain of Dreams, right? It gives everyone in Dreamland, the place where Kirby takes place, dreams. But then one day Kirby realizes he didn't have a dream, so he went over to the Fountain of Dreams, and then it turns out the deity stole the Star Rod. Kirby was mad, obviously, and then it turns out the deity broke the Star Rod into pieces and gave it to his friends or something. I don't know. And then so Kirby goes around, collects it, and then at the end of the game, Kirby tries to return the Star Rod to the Fountain of Dreams, but DDD tries to stop him. Kirby gets mad at him and then slaps him, and then puts the Star Rod back. And then as it turns out, DDD didn't want the Star Rod on the Fountain of Dreams because this guy named Nightmare, who you can probably guess what he is, he was trying to get into everyone's dreams to give them nightmares. So DDD is broke the Star Rod so that he wouldn't be able to do that. But yeah, Kirby put it back, and then you have to fight against Nightmare to stop. Yeah.
Do you think the lore is good here? Is it comparable to any good Saga's lore?
That's actually a tough question. While I personally like the lore, how they deliver it isn't the best. It's very interesting. Some things that seem simple, for example, okay, so what'll give us an example for good lore but bad storytelling is Kirby Planet Robobot, the second Kirby mainline game for the 3DS. So the main villain of that game is President Haltman, and his secretary Susie is also a person that appears throughout the game. But there's also but the main villain of the game is this robot named Stardream, who you have to go into space to destroy, because it's trying to destroy the universe. But something that's not said in the game at all, but instead was said in Miiverse, the social media for Nintendo Wii U and 3DS, was apparently Susie was the long lost daughter of President Altman. That seems like a pretty important detail to not put in the game, and I think it's cool, but why wasn't that in the game somewhere? You know? And I wish there was more, how do I put it, background storytelling. A lot of the lore they give is in the pause screens of the text, but there's not actually that much of in the world you see the story. But I think it has good lore.
It's definitely not as convoluted as FNAF's ones, right?
Yeah, definitely not.
Definitely not. I don't think there's
Well,
I don't think there's any lore
yeah,
that's
yeah.
as convoluted as FNAF.
I think FNAF. I think the writer just like kept putting in stuff, and he didn't really know how to put it all together. But although there is one thing that confused a lot of Kirby fans in Kirby Star Allies, like because there's this thing. Wait, yeah, it's okay if I spoil you. I think named Void, who in his in its past screen description is like it's implied that it might become a Kirby after you kill it. And this like made a lot of fans confused because like what does this mean that Kirby comes from this thing? You know? But
Hmm.
I think it's like the source of everything, you know? I don't know.
So what do you think I should start with? Should I start with the beginning first? Or is there actually no connection between all of those games? Like there's actually no story?
Uh
Just
Good question. If you're planning to play through the entire series, then definitely play from like the beginning. Not because the story is something that you need to know every game to know what, because the stories like while the lore is like fairly connected, the stories are actually pretty disconnected. But you should start you if you're planning to play through the whole series, then definitely play from the start because if you play from the later games, then you go back to the previous games, you'll feel like this game doesn't feel good. You know, like
yeah,
it's not that the previous games weren't made good; they were made as best as they can. But it's just the past hardware just you can't do that. You know,
yeah, yeah. Any game that I should avoid maybe?
games that you should avoid.
Yeah.
Uh, Kirby's Tilt and Tumble because it uses motion, and you can't play that because it uses the Game Boy Color. I don't think you have a Game Boy Color, so you'd probably emulate it, and you can't really emulate motion on an emulator. Let me think. What other games do I like? Kirby and Amazing Mirror is Metroidvania, which like for some people they really like it, but it's not my thing. Like, but if you want to play it, that's fine.
Mm.
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 Kirby Squig Squad's story is really bad according to people because like they just don't like how it mischaracterizes Kirby, which like I feel like people are like taking too seriously. Uh, but yeah, otherwise like the game feels really good, like how it controls.
Mm.
Let me think. What games to avoid? Uh,
Is there like a lot of games to avoid or just like a handful few?
not too many. If you're not including spin-offs, then just like avoid like I don't know. I think if you want to experience it, then you should play through every game. But if you just want to have fun, then I think you should avoid certain games like Kirby's Dream Land 2. It controls fine for a Game Boy game, but the collect if you're planning to go for 100%, the collectibles are like ridiculously bad, like some of them. And also Kirby 64, same reason.
Mm.
Um Kirby's also people don't like Kirby's Dream Land 3 either. Like they say like the like yeah, same reason as the previous two, but also that they feel like Kirby's too slow. Kirby games I'd recommend. I'd say like I haven't actually like played that many because I've like my first console was a Wii, I'd say I recommend Kirby's Epic Yarn. It's a spin-off, but it's also a platformer and unlike the mainline Kirby games, you can't fly.
Mm.
But it still doesn't have a challenge because unlike the Kirby games, you can't actually die, you just lose your money. Like
Mm.
which is pretty funny if you think about it. Like if you get stabbed, you just drop your wallet or something. But let me see. What other Kirby games? I'd say I recommend Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I mean, you could play that on the Wii, or you could like wait until the new version on Switch comes out. You could play Kirby Triple Deluxe, Kirby Planet Robobot. Kirby Star Allies I like, but a lot don't like. but like that's your choice. And Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the new game, I especially recommend that one. It's
Mm,
3D, so it's the more dimensions, the better, right?
mm,
Ayun.
mm. So for my last question, why? Why should everyone play the game? Or like why are you recommending the game? Just the last few
Why?
words on why.
Uh, why?
Because like
Kirby.
there's a lot of other good games. Why Kirby?
Why specifically Kirby? Uh,
Why
because it's just unique. There's no other experience quite like it.
mm. Any last words you want to talk to the viewers?
Uh, Play Kirby and the Forgotten.
Nice. All right, so thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Really, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Again, new episodes every Friday, every week. So yeah, thanks for everything. See you next week.